So it's a genuine question. What's up? It's your girl, Moon Goddess Kristen Dion of Empress Chronicles 777. Checking in with a quick 1-2. Wishing everybody peace, abundance, prosperity, and lots of love and happiness. But just a quick, literal, question, genuine question. So, because I keep seeing all these posts about how the government and, the other people infiltrate Black communities with, drugs, crime, and alcohol, and all the bad things, lack of resources, so on and so forth. And there's this narrative of blaming, others for our downfall of our community. But I just genuinely want to know, is a real issue that they're bringing these things to our communities, or is a real issue lack of self-control and lack of discipline? I mean, nobody's holding the alcohol to your mouth. Nobody's, shooting you up, or, putting a Coke up your nose, or rolling a blunt and blazing it to your mouth. I mean, let's just be real for a second. Let's be real for a second. I feel like we don't hold ourselves accountable enough. And I feel like we all have this narrative of blaming the oppressor at this point. But at the end of the day, yes, the oppressor has oppressed. But our ancestors and many that came before us worked really, really hard to put us in position. And be that as it may, yes, some of those ancestors were alcoholics. Some of those ancestors were junkies. And they did, take to the Coke and the drinks and all that, all the narratives that, people put out there. But at this point, being more informed and more educated and having more resources available to us in this day and age, I don't feel that we can really blame things on the government or the oppressor at this point in time when we have more resources available to us. We also have more intelligence and we're more informed about the effects of drugs and alcohol. I don't care what level of the society you're in. I don't care how rich or poor you are. You are well aware at this point that those things are not good for you. So when do we finally say, we have to take some type of responsibility on our end? We have to have some type of accountability. We have to say, okay, we have to acknowledge whether or not it's truly a oppression type of situation, or if we are literally just lacking self-control and discipline. I've drunk alcohol, but I don't drink like that. I don't have to drink to have a good time. I have a lot of family members that do not drink. They don't do drugs. They don't drink. They don't do any of that. And you know what? They're doing very, very, very well in life. So am I. So I kind of just go back to think okay, what really is it? Yes, I grew up around drugs and alcohol. I did. But that didn't ever mean that I needed to pick it up for myself. I was intelligent enough to know that, gosh, these people are not doing very well in their lives. They're just alcoholics walking around. They're druggies. They're not doing shit else but just getting high and drunk, and that's it. So I saw that and I said, definitely don't want to do that. I didn't think to myself oh gosh, that looks so fun. I didn't think to myself gosh, that looks like the way of life. So, I had self-control. I had discipline. There's a time and a place for everything. No, I'm not perfect and I'm not self-righteous. I'm not an angel. I'm not out here saying, oh, I've never did drugs or had alcohol. I've smoked some weed in my lifetime. Of course, I got a whole bottle of Douce downstairs right now. And I'll take me a little shot. Me and my boo will take us a little shot or mix it up with some ginger ale, some Pepsi, and chill, relax, watch our little show. I'm not saying that I don't drink, but when the last time anybody ever saw me drunk? College? Okay. Definitely can't nobody say they seen me high in years. So, and when I was doing those things, I still got my ass up the next day and made shit happen. I still went to class. I still went to work. I was still running my running up the bag. I wasn't sitting around drunk and high every day, all day. So maybe I got drunk or high and I was celebrating. Maybe I just got drunk and high, was having fun. That was after I did my homework. That was after I went to work. That was after I did the shit I'm supposed to do. But see, the thing about it is again, a lot of people lack discipline. They don't know how to prioritize things. You can't prioritize getting drunk and high over paying your bills, going to work, and getting your education. You can't prioritize getting drunk and high over, your daily responsibilities, cleaning your home, cleaning your ass, getting up, moving, making moves, meeting with your business partners. When you prioritize those secular things, those, worldly things, those escapes, because that's all it is escapism. What is alcohol? What is drugs? They're ways to escape reality. They're tools to help you escape reality, especially when taken in high doses, right? Like, obviously, one little shot of some type of alcohol ain't really much of an escape. You're still very well aware. I mean, unless your tolerance is just non-existent. But for the most part, everybody can take probably one shot or like make a little mixed drink, and they're not going to be really escaping much. More like relax, right? And the same thing, like you could take a puff of some weed, and it's probably not going to do much for the average person. You might feel a little woozy. That's it. But for the most part, like, it's going to take a little bit more for you to get to that point of actually escaping reality, right? So a lot of people do these things to take the edge off. But there's so many other things that you can do to take the edge off. You can go do yoga. You can, do plant medicine. You can, hell, sex, even though some people use that as a drug. You got sex addicts out here. But again, when you think about like a alcoholic or a drug addict or a sex addict or any of these things, like somebody who's addicted to gambling, those people lack self-control. They lack discipline. And there's all this research talking about, there's genetic reasons, and sometimes some people are predisposition, blah, blah, blah. Okay, well then you still lack self-control and discipline, because most of the time, most people who come from families and bloodlines that have addicts of any type, it has been talked about. You're well aware. Most people hear about it when they're kids, before they even have access to the things that those people got addicted to. So if you still grow up and decide, I want to get addicted to this shit too. My dad was an alcoholic and so was my grandfather. Damn, I would love to be an alcoholic too. Let me start drinking too. There you go. Instead of thinking like, okay, I need to leave this shit alone because this has destroyed my bloodline. There are people who literally be thinking like, I'm going to heal it by becoming a better alcoholic. I'm going to be functional in my shit. They were belligerent. I'm not like that. No, the goal is to knock it completely out the fucking bloodline. Not to find ways to take it in and pacify it or like make it look good, clean it up a little bit, but it's still there. Being a functional alcoholic ain't no better than being a fucking regular ass alcoholic, a little belligerent person running around drunk all day. It ain't no fucking difference. There's no tier to it. It is what it is, and it ain't what it ain't. So I think we all need to start self-reflecting and holding ourselves more accountable. I always hear it from people who refuse to leave those areas, refuse to leave those communities, refuse to leave the toxicity behind. They want to dwell in it and complain about it. You can't dwell in something that's making you sick. You can't dwell in a place where if you want to live freely and you want to flourish, you can't dwell in poverty and think that you're going to flourish in it. You can't want to live an affluent, educated life and remain in the fucking hood with no resources, no education, no nothing. Like you have to pick a side. You have to pick a side. And I think that's the part that people don't realize, especially all of the like philanthropic people and all the people who they want to be these leaders of the community, but they don't know how to lead. You lead by example. You don't lead by living the same fucking life you're trying to get away from, you're trying to get everybody else away from. How the fuck are you leading people anywhere if you ain't even out of what you're trying to lead people from? How you leading the community away from drug and alcohol use when you drink and do drugs every day? How you cleaning up the community when you still living in the fucking hood? Your house a mess. It's about to fall apart. It smell like fucking blacks and weed and alcohol. How? What type of leader are you? You're a hypocrite. You're not a leader. You're a hypocrite. How you leading people towards financial literacy when you're financially illiterate? How? Oh, we got a millionaire mindset over here when you don't even make, 50K a year. How you got a millionaire mindset and you don't even make 50K a year? I know it's just a mindset, but how you gonna show somebody else how to become a millionaire and you ain't even figured out how to make 50K a year? Something, the math's not mathing. We got to start living in what we're speaking. And we got to start following people who are leading us to the truth rather than people who are leading us through illusions. Are you an illusion? Are you delusional? Maybe you're delusional. Maybe you out here talking about you got a millionaire mindset even though you make 50K a year. And, maybe you're delusional. But then if you got a delusional leader, where are you leading these people to? We got to clear our minds. We got to clear ourselves of all the ways of this world. And we got to walk in our power. And we got to realize who and whose we are. And we have to acknowledge those things that are not serving us. We have to acknowledge those things. We can't hold on to those things. And the thing about it is we have to realize that the only way out is through, right? And the only way through is we have to get up and move. We got to get up and move. If you grew up in the hood and you want to make the hood better, staying in the hood is not the goal. Staying in the hood is not the answer. You're not going to make the hood better by living there and dwelling in the hood amongst hood shit. You're just not. I don't care what nobody says, you're not. You're going to have to rise above that shit. You're going to have to do better and be better. You're going to have to be an example of what it looks like to get the fuck out. Not to dwell in it. If you want to teach financial literacy, learn how to become financially literate yourself. Get your finances in order. Figure out how to make money yourself. You can't teach nobody else how to be a fucking millionaire and you ain't even a damn a 5-figure earner. Like, what the fuck? How you, what? What? That shit is wild. That's wild. How you telling the community that it's being destroyed by alcohol and drugs, and then you sitting at home drinking your damn life away every day? As soon as you get off of work, you got a bottle. You down at the liquor store, you down at the fucking gas station or the liquor store buying you a bottle, but this is what's destroying our community. And you're supporting that shit by being a part of the fucking problem. You lack discipline. So what do you think your community that you're leading is going to be or do? They're going to follow what you're doing. If you're the leader, if you're leading a community, you have to lead by example. And as it don't matter if you're a leader or a follower, one thing is for sure is this: leaders lead by example, but followers, be mindful of who you're following. Do they really represent what they stand for? I teach people about self-care. I took a step back because I was like, God damn, I'm barely taking care of myself. I'm helping all these other people, but I'm not taking care of myself. So I pulled my energy back, and guess what? I'm in practice of what I preach. Same goes for any other leader. They should be in practice of whatever they preach. If you're preaching that the communities are being destroyed by all these things, why are you supporting these things? None of your money, none of your time, none of your energy should go towards the things that you are stating is destroying the community. So if you're saying alcoholism is destroying the community, you should not be fucking drinking. We have to change our mindset and how we move, and we have to change, our priorities. And even how we deliver things. Maybe it's not your time to teach financial literacy. Maybe it's your time to become financially literate. It's all in divine order. It's all in divine timing. Maybe it's not your time to go save the community. Maybe it's your time to save your fucking self. So that you can be that example one day, someday. We got to get there. And the only way we're going to get there is if we all do the work. It's not on one person. It's not on two people. It's not on the 3, 4, 5 leaders that we look up to. It's on all of us. We all got to do better. We all got to choose better. We all got to make better decisions. We all have to make better choices. We all have to learn how to be better at prioritizing things in our lives. We all have to be more disciplined. We all do. It's not enough for one person or, this person, that person. No, everybody has to be. Thinking about community, yes, we all need leaders, but the thing about it is the community has to commune. We have to be in union, in unity. We have to come together. We have to come together on one accord. We have to all have one agenda. We can't all be doing whatever the fuck out here and then, but just still harping and but this and that and the oppressor. No, the only thing oppressing us at the end of the day is us. We're oppressing us. We can't blame that on anybody else at this point. We can't. It's enough of us. We can fight if it ever came down to somebody literally coming to our communities, putting the alcohol down our throats. We could fight, but that's not what's happening. That's what we need to focus on. That's what we need to really realize. That's not what's happening. The quote unquote oppressor who we're claiming to be our oppressor, they're not coming in. They're not shoving the alcohol down our throats. They're not putting the weed to our lips. They're not shooting our arms up. They're not stuffing our noses with coke. They're not doing it. They're not. They're not. If they were, we would already be at war. Nobody would stand for that shit. But it's sad because while we're blaming somebody else, we're not accepting and acknowledging the truth. We are our own oppressors. Merely sitting back and believing that somebody else has that much power and control over us is the oppression. That's the oppression. It's the mentality. It's the mentality. If you tell yourself you're stuck, if you tell yourself that you're being oppressed and you're being blocked and there's all these obstacles against you and your community, that's the life that you're going to live. But if you tell yourself that there's no fucking weapon that can be formed against you that will prosper, not a single fucking one. If you tell yourself that I don't care what they put in my face, I'm not taking it. I'm not going to partake in no bullshit that's not going to serve my highest good. If you tell yourself you're going to win, if you tell yourself that you are better than this bullshit, that's what it's going to be. But you have to pick a side. You have to pick and choose what you're telling yourself. You have to pick and choose what your mentality is going to be. I'm either going to fall in or rise above. But you got to pick a side. What are you going to choose? That's all I got today. I wish everybody peace, abundance, prosperity, lots of love and happiness. Pick a side. Peace is your grandma goddess, Kristen Dion of Empress Chronicles 777, checking out.